Prog format set. So today we'll discuss prog transpose. So what is the meaning of transpose? What is the meaning of prog transpose? What is the meaning of transpose?
Sir, it's row to column and column to row.
Row to column, column to row. Correct. It's how you have some information like this: A, B, C, and D. Okay. If you want to convert this into this horizontal information, if you want to convert into a vertical information, A, B, C, and D. Or else if you have vertical information, you want to convert into horizontal. Okay, this is called transpose. So when you come to data set level, here in a prog transpose, we are changes the variables into observations or observations into variables. Okay, see the syntax, how to do the prog transpose. Prog transpose data equal to mention your input data set name, which data set you want to transpose. Out equal to mention the what is the output data set you want. Okay. Okay. And here we have var statement. Now where we can give the variable names, variables. Okay. If you give the var statement, how it will behave. And we can also have ID variables. And ID statement, we can give the variables names. And by statement also we can give the variable names. Okay. Okay. And apart from this, we have an options also. Prefix equal to, suffix equal to, name equal to. Okay. Fine. Let me explain this prox transpose by taking some data. For example, I have file data set I'm going to take in file data lines. Input, I have a data like this. I have some pets information. Okay. Pet name, pet owner. Okay. Okay. Pet owner and the pet name. Okay. Pet population means how many pets they have. Okay. Let's see. For example, one did have two dogs. Okay. Sadhvi. Sadhvi have one bird. Swati have five fishes. Okay. Ram have three cats. Okay. This is the information I have. So this is my input data set. Okay. Pet owners, their pets, and their population. Now in this data set, if I apply prop transpose, what's going to happen? Prop transpose data equal to my data set name is file out equal to, for example, file out. So I'm not giving any var statement, id statement, by statement now. So just simply I'm writing prop transpose. Okay. Prop transpose. See the log? There are 4 observations you read from work.file. File out, only one observation is created. The 5 variables. See, I got output like this. So this is my input data set. And this is my output data set. What happened here? Tell me. My input data set and my output data set. When I apply prop transpose, what happened here? What it is transposed? Anyone?
Last column.
Last column is nothing but
Last
population. Population variable is transposed, correct? Here, the vertical information became horizontal here. In other sense, here population is a variable, became observation here. Correct? If the population is the input data set, population is your variable. Now it became an observation here. This vertical information became an horizontal. Why only population variable is transposed? Why? Because in a prop transpose, by default, it will transpose all the numeric variables. Okay, by default, it will transpose. It will transpose all numeric variables. So here I have only one numeric variable, population. So that variable alone, it is transposed. No, sir, I don't want to transpose the population variable. I want to transpose pet owner or pet variable. That time, you have to use a var statement. Okay. So, and a var statement, which variable will mention, that variable going to be transposed. So if you mention pet owner alone going to be transposed. Okay. Instead of opening the data set every time, I'm printing directly. So we can check in the output window. See, pet owners are transposed. Vandit, Sadhvi, Swati, and Ram. Okay. Your pet owner is transposed. If you mention the 2 variables, means all the 2 variables also. Pet owner, pet, both if you mention, both the variables will be transposed. See, pet owner and pet, both the variables are transposed. So one is pet dog, Sadhvi pet bird, Swati pet fish, Ram pet cat. The data adjusted correctly, automatically. So here, the pet owners, we mentioned the pet owners and pet, so those variables are transposed. We mentioned population also going to be transposed. So an var statement, which variable will mention, that variable going to be transposed. Okay. An var statement, which variable will mention, is going to be transposed. Okay, clear? That is var statement. Next, ID statement. If I use ID statement, what going to happen?
So population, it will take default, sir.
Yeah, by default, if you haven't mentioned anything in a var statement, by default it will go for population.
Then we have to get that population also, sir, by default.
No, you are on a var statement you are mentioning right now. If you mention,
Okay.
you only mentioned one will come. If you haven't mentioned anything, only population will come. If you want population also here, you want can add it here. It will come population also.
That means we are defining it particularly.
If you mention anything on a where statement, that only will come. If you haven't mentioned means not mention anything, meaning is nothing but default, right? Default is nothing but you have not mentioned anything.
Yes, sir.
The meaning of default everywhere is if you haven't mentioned anything specifically, that is called default. So by default, it will give the for all the numeric values. If you mention specifically anything, that will come only.
Okay.
It is on a where statement. Yeah.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So now specifically I was mentioned 3. So 3 will be transposed. Pet owner, pet and population. Okay. Next, what will happen if I use a ID statement? Okay. Observe this program. So on a where statement, I mentioned the pet owners. Okay. See the output data set. Pet owner is transposed. Okay. Here observe the variable names. The variable names are like column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, like. Okay. Now see. Now an ID statement, I'm mentioning the pet variable. Okay. And a where statement, we know what will happen in where statement. If we mention any variable, that variable is going to be transposed. What going to happen if I mention any variable on an ID statement? See what happens? Okay. So this is your input the data set. This is my output data set. An input data set, I have pet. And where statement, I mentioned the pet owner. So the pet owners are transposed. An ID statement, I mentioned the pet variable. So the pet variable, what are the observations are there? Dog, bird, fish, cat, right? See, these observations are become a variable names here. ID, bird, fish, cat. See, dogs pet owner Vandi, birds pet owner Sadhvi, fish pet owner Swati, cat pet owner Ram. Data adjusted accordingly. So on ID statement, which variable you mention, that variable observations are going to be output dataset variable names. Here, that is ID statement will do. Clear? An ID statement, which variable you mention, that variable observations are going to become output dataset variable names. Okay. On ID statement, which variable we mention, that variable observations going to be observations going to be variable names in the output data set. Okay, clear? For example, if you mention reverse, what is the output will come? Tell me. And a where statement, I'll mention pet. And an ID statement, I'll mention pet owner. What is the output I'm going to get? Can anyone tell me? And a where statement, I mentioned pet. And an ID statement, I mentioned pet owner. We run this program, what is the output I'm going to get?
The names becomes variables.
Okay. See. So on a pet owner, pet. Okay. See, on where statement you mentioned pet, so pet variable is transposed. An ID statement you mentioned pet owner, so those observations, it is the names became a variable names here. Pandit, Sadhvi, pet. So Vandit pet is dog, Sadhvi pet is bird, Swati pet is fish, Ram's pet is pet. Okay. Next. So this is about ID statement. Next. Last one is by statement. What will happen if I use a by statement? Okay. So on a where statement, I mentioned the pet owner. Now, for example, on a by statement, I mentioned in the pet. Okay. Before I run this code, what is my thumb rule? I'm using the by statement here.
Proc sort.
Proc sort.
You have to sort my input data set. Proc sort data is equal to 5 by pet. Then only I can use that by variable in the next step. Or else we'll get an error. Okay. See, I'm sorting the input data set by pet. I'm using the same by statement here. So, okay. What happened? So this is my output data set. Right? This is my input data set. So on a by statement, sorry, on a where statement, you mentioned pet owner. So pet owner is transposed. On a by statement, you mentioned the pet variable. So what will happen? I mentioned the pet variable. Did it transpose anything?
No.
No. That's what will happen. Okay, if you mention anything on a by variable, it will never transposed. It will be in constant position. As it is, however, in the data, it will be there. In the same position, it will be there. The data will not be transposed. It will not alter anything. The remaining data will alter. See, but pet owner Sadhvi, cat pet owner Ram, dog pet owner Vandit, fish pet owner Swati. Adjusted automatically. So on a by statement, whichever variable you mention, that variable will never transpose. It will be in constant position. Clear? Everyone?
So we have to get the population, this variable also, no, sir?
Population, you haven't mentioned anything, right? In the output, that's the reason I not come anything.
By file itself, you have mentioned a file.
File is your input data set. Output data set you are not used anywhere in the population variable. Did you mention anything on a by statement or ID statement or any variable you mentioned population variable?
No.
Not populated. Okay. For example. In a by statement, I was mentioning the population. What happens? Now your population variable is empty, constant. Hmm? Your population variable is constant. Okay, your pet owners are transposed.
I'm asking about this pet, sir. Pet has to be come, na, that one also has to come, na, sir.
No, you won't mention anything, right? If you mention, it will come. How it will come automatically? You mention here pet. Pet owner and pet. Now it's coming. You mentioned pet owner and pet.
Okay.
Pet owner and pet. Okay. So this is completely depends on output requirement. Okay. You just understand how the variable, how the ID statement is behaving, how by statement is behaving, how the where statement is behaving. Understand the behavior. Then, according to your output data set, output requirement, you have to apply, you have to mention the variable names and ID, by, and where statement. Okay, which are not required, you don't mention. Which is required, you mention those things accordingly. Okay, just understand the behavior. So what you understand when you mention the by statement? Okay. On a by statement variable, it will never transpose. It will never transpose. It will be in constant position. It will never transpose. It will be in constant position.
Sir, here in this, by using this by statement,
Hmm.
like row to column, column to row transposition is not done, no, sir?
Not
This
that.
columns
That's
has been
what-
paged.
It will be no. It will never transpose. That's what.
Okay.
It will be in constant.
No, sir, that not that variable. Even other variables also, just they
No,
came.
it is transposed, right? For example,
This is also transposition, right, sir?
so no, what happened? So you are meaning that by variable, by statement, pet variable you mentioned, it was not transposed, but on a where statement you mentioned pet owner, right?
Mm.
Is it transposed, right? See, pet owner previously it's a variable name, it became observation now. Pet owner previously a variable name, it's become an observation now. Got it? This is what your question or something different?
No, sir.
Tell me, what's the doubt?
Uh, open the file, sir, once.
Okay.
File.
Okay, fine.
In this information is same like that, no, sir? Like same columns, just a place of column is changed. That's it, right?
No, one second.
Yeah.
One second.
Okay.
Okay, let me show you both. Yeah.
Here,
Hmm.
same birds, these are in columns, but not became any row like that, no, sir? So this is also called transposition.
This is also called transposition, right? Pet owner, previously it's a variable name. It's a transpose to observation level. It's coming as observation, right? That's called transposition only. Okay. So here you made this pet variable as a constant. So according to that, the data will transpose. It doesn't mean every time it will come like this in straight way.
Okay.
This is not only a transpose, this is also transpose.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Because according to this row, this column, pet column, it was adjusted.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine, sir. Okay, sir. We'll check.
Clear, everyone? All the three statements meaning. So on a by statement, which variable you mentioned, that variable going to be transposed straightforward. An ID statement, if we mention any variable, that variable observations are going to be variable names in your output data set. And a by statement, which variable you mentioned, it will be never transport, it will be in the constant position as it is. Our input data set there, output data set also, it will be same. Okay. Okay, I was mentioning a few more options we have: suffix, prefix, and name. Okay. For example, an ID, see this example. So what will happen? An var statement mentioning pet on an ID statement mentioning the pet. So an ID statement which variable mentioned that observation. See, bird, cat, dog is coming as a variable names. So for these variable names, if you want to add any prefixes or any suffixes, prefix is nothing much. Before you want to anything add, suffix is after you want to add something, you can add it using these options. Okay. Prefix is nothing but before. For example, I'm adding like a new underscore. Suffix, I'm adding like a underscore 1. Observe here, new underscore bud underscore 1, new underscore cat underscore 1. So you added prefixes and suffixes. You can add the variable name like this. Clear? New underscore is prefix 1, underscore 1 is a suffix. You can add in the variable. Now we have one more option. Here underscore name underscore is there, right? Name of the transposed variable, former variable. This variable name also I can change it. I have an option called name equal to. If we give name equal to NP, it will come as a variable name in the output data set. Okay, for example, I'm writing like a so generally transposed variable. Okay. See, it's coming as a transposed variable. Previously, it is giving underscore name underscore default variable name. Now I'm giving the variable name as a transposed variable. So if you use this name option, it will work like that. Okay. So these are the 3 options we have in a proc transpose. Okay. This prefix and suffix options may useful sometimes for you in the real time. Okay. So remember these options. Clear? So that's it for the proc transpose. There any doubts? Anyone? Okay. If no doubts, we'll move to the next procedure. Proc means proc summary, proc thread. These 3 are statistical procedures actually. Okay. Statistical procedures. Let's start with proc means. What proc means will give. Okay. Proc means will give the 5 different descriptive statistics as an output. 5 descriptive statistics. What are the descriptive statistics? N, minimum, maximum, mean, and standard deviation. These 5 descriptive statistics it will give as an output. Okay, N is nothing but number of non-missing values. Okay, mean is nothing but minimum value, max is nothing but maximum value, mean is nothing but average value, STD is nothing but standard deviation value. Okay, for example, I have a class 1 data set. Let me take one data set of input now, and let us apply the proc means on that data set. Okay, so this is my input data set. Okay, on this input data set, I'm applying the proc means. Proc means data equal to class 1 data set. Okay, and okay, and the program. What is happening? It is giving the 5 descriptive statistics as an output: N, minimum, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum. For what? See, for which variables it is giving age, height, weight. What is that meaning? By default, it will give the statistics for all the numeric variables. These are all numeric variables, right? In the class 1 data set, these are the 3 numeric variables, age, height, weight. For all the 3 numeric variables, it is giving the 5 statistics. See, age means in a age, for age variable, if you observe, totally how many observations are there? 19 observations. So n is 19. Okay. What is the minimum age, maximum age? Minimum age is 11, maximum age is 16. What is an average age is 13.3. What is standard deviation? 1.4. Correct? If you go and check, the minimum age is 11, maximum age is 16. And that average value also it is given. Similarly for height, similarly for weight also. See, height, minimum height is 51.3, maximum height is 72, average is 2.3, this is standard deviation value. Similarly for a weight as well. Okay, so by default, it will give the statistics for all the numeric variables. That's a POC mix. POC means by default, it will give the statistics for all numeric variables. If you want statistics only for a specific variable means, what do you have to do? You have to mention in a var statement. And a var statement, if you mention age means only for age variable, you will give the statistics. See, analysis variable is age. So for only age variable statistics, it will give. Minimum age 11, maximum age 16, total observation 19, mean average is 13.3, standard deviation 1.4. So on a var statement, how many variables you mention, for those variables, it will give the statistics. And by default also, it will give the statistics, all the 5 statistics it will give you the output. If you don't want all the 5 statistics in your output report, if you want only specific statistics, for example, I need only n and mean is there. So only n and mean it will give. N and mean. No, I need mean and minimum and maximum values required. You mention those things, only those 3. Minimum, mean, minimum, maximum. So which option you mentioned, only those statistics only will come. Okay, clear? Next. Next one more. You have class statement also is there. In a class statement, for example, if you mention sex variable, class will do the classification. So on a class statement, I will mention the sex variable. See, it was classified. So generally on a class statement, I have sex variable. In a sex variable, how many unique observations are there? Only 2 unique observations are there, male and female. So it is split into 2, male and female. Means for a female, it is considered only female now. Okay, in the female, total how many observations are there? 9 observations are there. For age, it is giving this analysis now. Okay, in the female, what is the minimum age? 11, maximum age 15, average is 13.2. Total 9 females are there. This is the statistics for those 9 females. For 10 males, this is statistics. Minimum age is 11, maximum age is 16, average 13.4, 1.64 is the standard deviation. Total count is 10. See, your class variable useful like this for a classification purpose. Okay, clear?
So we can sort out only female.
We can sort out means
That means whatever the 5 variables coming as a mean, standard deviation, minimum. For the female only, I have to write means.
okay. First of all, it is coming only in the output window, right? Understand? It's coming in the output window. It is coming in the dataset format. Did you observe anyone? Did you create any output dataset? How can it filter out you have to filter, right? If you need only female means you filter for only female. Sex is equal to F. Where sex is equal to F means only for females will come. Agree? Okay. First of all,
Sir, filtering by using the class statement.
no, class statement is not for filtering, okay? It's for classification. So now what he asked, for a sex variable, male and female, it's for both the statistics you are getting. So now I don't want male statistics. I want only female statistics. Correct? So you can filter, either you filter your input data set where sex is equal to F. For example, class 1, set class 1. You filter where sex is equal to F means only female details it will come in your output data set, correct? Only for female it will give the statistics. Agree?
That means before we have to filter it, sir.
You filter in this way. Okay, let me complete. Okay. Now you are getting only female details.
Yeah, we are getting, sir. But one, I have confusion that before writing the pop mean, we have to go for the filtration of data.
No, you have to filter the data. That way you can do it in another way. Okay. In another way, this is your, it is coming in the output window. First of all, this is not coming in the data set. This is an output window was different. Okay, the form of data set is different. I haven't created anything in the form of data set. Is it anything created in the form of data set? I'm doing the proc means, where the proc means output I need in the form of data set. Okay. For example, here proc means I'm applying. Okay. Proc means var is equal to h. Okay. Proc means var is equal to h means for age it is giving the statistics. Okay. But it is coming in an output window. I need in the output data set format. Okay. Write out statement. Sorry, you have to write out statement like this. Output I need in a separate data set. So output out equal to, okay, mention the data set name. Class underscore mean is the data set name. Let us assume. All right. So it is coming in an output window. Now check in the log also. See, previously it is only printed in an output window. Now data set also created. There are 19 observations you're reading from class 1. Class underscore mean data set is created. It has 5 observations and 4 variables. See, class underscore mean, the data set will come like this. So it is also giving for age variable, it is giving the 5 statistics: n, minimum, maximum, mean, and standard deviation. Okay. So when you ask for a data set, when you use an output statement, your output data set will come like this. See, your output window, your report was different, your data set was different. In the looking wise, it was different, but the information was correct only. N, mean, minimum, maximum, everything it is giving correctly only. See, N is 19, minimum is 11, maximum is 16, average is 13.3, standard deviation 1.2. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is how it will give the data set. Now you can see the 2 variables here, underscore type, underscore frec. Okay. Underscore frec is nothing but number of observations. Here 19 observations you are doing the frequency. Okay. Underscore type is important. Okay. Here type is 0. This underscore type underscore. So this variable values will depends on your classification variable. So here I haven't used any classification variable. That's the reason the type is only 0. Okay. Now see, I'm mentioning the classification variable class 6 if I mention. Okay. So your output window will come like this. So classification variable is sex variable, male and female. It is giving the for female statistics and male statistics is given separately. When you go and check in the data set, your classification variable is sex variable. Your analysis variable is in a where statement you mentioned age variable. So how it is giving statistics? See, first observe type is equal to 0. When type is equal to 0 means it not considered any classification variable. It is giving the statistics. See, means totally 19 observations are there. Minimum is 11, maximum is 16, and mean. Means this time it not consider any classification variable. Means it will give the statistics on whole data set. Now it consider the classification variable. Sex is equal to female. Now type is equal to 1. Now for females only it is giving the statistics. Means total only 9 females are there. In those 9 females, minimum age is 11, maximum age is 15, average is 13.22. Now sex is equal to male. Type 1. So here also only 10 males are there, minimum age 11, maximum age 16, mean and standard deviation. So when you use a classification variable, your output data set will come like this. Your type value will change, type 0, type 1. Now come to my question. He asked, I need only sex is equal to female details. Now you can filter out here. You can filter an output data set also. Okay. Where sex is equal to female. Only female details will come in your output data set. See, only for females you are getting the statistic. Okay. Clear? So this is how we can do it. Understand how to use output statement, how to use a class statement. Okay, so on a where statement, if you mention any variable, that's going to be your analysis variable. Okay. Okay, and a class statement, if you mention any variable, it's going to be classification variable. Okay, clear? Okay. Next, you have one more like where and class, you have one more also. That is, see here, by statement. And a by, if you mention what is going to happen. Okay. Before I use a by statement, what is my thumb rule? I have to sort my input data set. Proc sort data is equal to class 1 by 6. Okay. See, and a by statement, if you mention anything, your output report will come like this. Okay. Sex is equal to female details separately, sex is equal to male details separately. By statement, you will separate the. See, previously it is coming in the same page, now it is coming in a different. Sex is equal to female, male. Okay, now it is separated. That's it. Sex is equal to male, female details, sex is equal to male details. Okay, your output data set, see. Class underscore name. And a by statement you mentioned, right? So it is separately, it is given. Okay. Variable 6 already exist in a class underscore me. The duplicate variables will not be included in the output data set of output statement number. So because you used both classification variable and by statement, both the things that you use the same variable. Let us use different variable, you will understand the differentiation. For example, you mentioned a age variable. What happened? For age 30, you filter the age 13. Under age 13, for a female, sex females, it is giving the age derivation. Sorry, again, it's also duplicate, right? It's also duplicate once again. Because on a where statement you mentioned where age, and a by statement also are mentioning the age. For example, on a where statement you mentioned height. And a by statement you mention age. So for height, it will give the analysis. Your classification variable is sex. Your grouping variable is age. By statement will go for grouping. So grouping variable. Okay. So for age 14 people, under age 14 people. Under age 16, classification variable is sex. Your analysis variable is height. Analysis variable is height. See the output data set. What the output data set is coming? Class underscore. Okay. So your grouping variable will be age. Age 11, 12, 13. For each group, it will give the classification. Female, male, female, male. It is giving the analysis for a height variable. Okay. It looks complex for you at this time, but just understand, okay, what it is meaning. In which variable, in which statement, if you mention anything, what going to happen. But very important is where statement. And where statement, if you mention any variable, that variable will give the classification. That for that variable will give the analysis. Okay. If you mention anything in a class statement, it's going to create a classification. Okay. 1 second, guys. One pause. Perfect. So clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here I want to clear one point. Okay. Here this was clear, right? And a where statement, if you mention anything, that variable is going to be, it will be give the statistics for that variable. So here type is equal to 0. Correct? Here type is equal to 0. Because here I haven't mentioned anything and a classification. I haven't used any classification variable. That's the reason you got only type 0. Okay. If I mention anything on a classification variable, see, here your maximum type is 1. Here on a classification variable, I mentioned that sex variable. Okay. See the output data set. What is my output data set name? Class underscore me. So here type 0, type 1. Both it is coming. Okay. Now understand, right? When type 0 will come, when type 1 will come. And a classification variable, if you mention the more number of variables, your type number will increase. Type 0, type 1, type 2, different combinations will come. Okay. I don't want to go in depth, that much more is not required. Now, why I was mentioning this type 0 and type 1. Here, type 0, type 1, both are coming, right? In my output data set, only maximum type values are required. Type 0 are not required. Only what is the maximum type. That maximum type values only required my output data set. To get like that, okay, you have an option called in-way option. Okay, in-way option gives the maximum type as an output. As an output. Okay, very useful option. See. The same code, now I'm using in-way option. If you use in-way option, so previously type 0, type 1, both you got output, right? Now go and check, you will get only type 1 values. Okay. That is what in-way option. Your in-way option will give the maximum type as an output. Okay. That's it. That's what proc means. Okay, very simple. Proc means will give the 5 descriptive statistics as an output, n minimum, maximum, standard deviation. Okay, n minimum, maximum, mean, and standard deviation. By default, it will give the statistics for all the numeric variables. Okay. And var statement, which variable you mention, for that variable will give the statistics. If you want the statistics, any specific statistics, if you want, mention those as an option. Okay. Here var statement, if you mention any variable, going to be analysis variable. And a class statement, if you mention any variable, it's a classification variable. And a by statement, if you mention any variable, it's going to be grouping variable. Okay. To get the maximum type as an output, use the in-way option. In-way option gives the maximum type values as an output. Clear? That's it. This is what proc means. Clear, everyone? Next is proc summary. Proc summary, proc means both are same actually. There is only slight difference between proc means and proc summary. Very slight. Now, proc summary also, yes, it will also give the 5 descriptive statistics as an output. Okay. 5 statistics it will give the output. Those are n, minimum, maximum, mean, and standard deviation. It will also will give the 5 statistics as an output. Okay, but see the differentiations. Previously, proc means by default it will give the, for all the numeric variables, it will give the statistics, right? But when you try using proc summary, observe here. Instead of proc summary, I'm using proc. Instead of proc means I'm using proc summary now. Proc summary data is equal to class 1. See, it's throwing an error. What is that error? Neither the print option nor a valid output statement as given. Means proc means always requires an output statement or a print option. That's the first difference between proc means and proc summary. Proc summary always requires an output statement or a print option. Any of these two always requires an output statement or a print option. Okay, so I'm using a print option. Let's assume. Okay, print option I'm using. Okay. And see, still it is not giving the statistics. Previously, by default, it give the statistics for all the numeric variables when you use the proc means. But here, it is not giving the statistics for all the numeric variables, just giving observation count. So that is the second difference. So by default, it will not give the statistics for all numeric variables. If you want a statistics for any variable, okay, you have to mention a var statement. For example, var age, if you mention for age variable, it will give the statistic. Okay? The summary procedure, analysis variable age. See, all the 5 statistics is giving now. Okay. Previously, when you use a proc means also you got the same output. Proc means var age, if I mention also you get the same output. Your analysis variable age will use the 5 statistics. We use the means procedure. And if you use a summary procedure also you got the same output. Can I say your proc summary with print option or any output statement, it is same as a proc means only? Proc summary with a print option or any output statement along with var statement. Okay, along with var statement is nothing but proc means only. Okay, clear? That's it. This is the difference between proc means and proc summary. In same way, in a proc means what are the options we used? What are the statements? Var statement, class statement, by statement, output statement. How it worked here? In the same way it will work in the proc summary also. Okay, how this n-way option will work? Okay, how this n mean options will work? It will also work in the proc summary as well. Okay, both will work in the same way. Instead of proc means use a proc summary. So on var statement you mentioned height. For height it will give the statistics. For classification you mentioned sex is the classification variable. By statement you mentioned age will be the clothing variable. Okay, proc sort by class 1. Sorry, proc sort data is equal to class 1 by age. See, instead of proc means I'm using the proc summary. Now also it will be the same out. Okay, so class underscore name. So this is by statement variable, this is classification variable, this is and a var statement you mentioned height or height variable. It will give the analysis. Okay, clear? Now understand proc means and proc summary are same. Only the slight difference is it always require a print option or a output statement, and by default it won't give the statistics for the numeric variables. Every time you have to mention the var statement. If you mention a var statement only, it will give the statistics, or else it won't give. Clear? That's it. That's the difference between proc means and proc summary. Clear, everyone? Okay. We have one more procedure also, prop train. Just 5 minutes. Shall we discuss now or shall we continue tomorrow? Okay, no problem. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay. Any doubts, anyone? Any questions? If nothing is there, yeah,
Recording stopped.
that's it for today.
Can we discuss the last page? Last code.
This one, huh?
Yes, sir. Last code.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So what will happen? And var statement I mentioned the height. So for height it will give the analysis, statistics it will give, and a class is the classification variable, and a by statement you mention here. So it will go for a grouping. Okay. Output statement will create output data set. I'm not use a print option, so that's the reason it's not printing the output on the, because we use a prop summary, right? We use a print option. See here. See the summary procedure. Your analysis variable is height. For height, it will give the statistics. Minimum height, maximum height, average height, standard deviation. Okay. How it is classification? By classifying the sex variable. For what is the grouping value? Age level. Means under age 11, for each female and male, giving the statistics. Means under age 12, there are 2 females are there, 3 males are there. In those 2 females, minimum height and maximum height and their average values. Clear? Understand?
Yes, sir.
Same thing you are going to get in the form of data set also. So this is you are getting in the form of data set. So your statistics variable is height. Okay, your classification variable is sex. Your by variable is age. So for a first of all, first age 11 people. It's sorted by age 11. Okay, it filters age 11. Under age 11, for females and males. See, it is giving separately statistics. This is when I have not considered any classification variable. This is the statistic. Means for age 11, okay, there are 2 age 11 people. If you observe age 12, there are 5 age people. In those 5, see, 2 are females, 3 are males.
But why we are using the props?
Now you are using prop sort. Here you by statement used, right?
Yes, sir.
Whenever you use a by statement, the default thumb rule is you have to sort your input data set.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
That's the only reason. Not only here, everywhere, throughout a SAS, whenever you use a by statement, the input data set must be sorted. Okay?
Okay, sir. Clear.
Fine. So that's it. Thank you guys. We'll continue tomorrow. That's it. Okay.